Hey, good morning, everyone. I will just quickly recap what we discussed in the last Saturday session, and after that, I'm just trying to recap the steps that whatever that we discussed about it. After that, we'll complete it the remaining three steps in today's session, so that you'll understanding about like how auto scaling it is gonna work. Okay. So we discussed about like what is meant by auto scaling. In that we are just discussing about like what are the steps that we need to perform when you want to perform the auto scaling. That means like whenever more load comes towards the applications, we should understanding about like how we can able to handle that application. That's where we are focusing on the auto scaling part. In that first, to distribute the traffic between all the servers, we have to create a load balances, right? So once we just create load balances, after that we have to create a launch template. Launch template is the one where we can able to decide that what kind of instance that you want to launch. And because the whatever the application is working, the same kind of application and the same kind of configurations that you want to replicate whenever you're trying to creating the new server. See, for that, what we can do that we are just trying to creating a launch template. So once the launch template is got created, then we are trying to creating something. It is called as a auto scaling groups. In auto scaling groups, where we discussed about like what is the minimum and what is the maximum number of instances that we need, that we have mentioned over there. And after that, what we do, we have to create SNS topic. This still we haven't discussed about like why we required the SNS topic. So SNS topic, it is basically required to send a message to alerts to particular email or Slack channel, so that you'll understanding about like so what's going on and how this particular traffic it is gain be the increasing or not. So we'll just look at here how we can able to go for something. It is called as a SNS, nothing but like simple the notification services, right? And we can just look at here. There is something, it is called a CloudWatch RMs. So whenever you wanted to perform the scaling, we have to set some conditions, right? So those conditions, definitely we had to go with something. It is called the CloudWatch RM right now. And after that, we can see about like, there's something, it is called dynamic scaling. When the traffic it is coming towards the applications more, and what kind of action that we have to take, that we have to go for something. It is called as a dynamic scaling policy that we can able to do that, right? So fine. Now we can just look at here. We'll see about like how we can able to do that. So I'm just trying to quickly take you through that what we have implemented, and after that we'll see that what are the next steps that we have to perform. Okay, let me just try to open my AWS account. Okay. So let me just try to switch to the a different region. Let's say, for example, I'm just looking to the North Virginia. Yeah, here, what we have to do now, I'm just trying to go to here. The first we have to select the EC2 right now. So I'm just trying to quickly complete these three steps, whatever that we have done so far. Let me just go for something. It is called load balances right now. Yep. Now click on the create load balances. And here we are just moving for the classic load balancer. And you have to click on the create right now. The first we had to provide the load balancer name. I'm just trying to mention about like, Clahan hyphen auto hyphen, we can say about like load balancer. That is a name that we are just trying to going through here. After that, we can see there is something, it is called the internet facing, or we can just go for the internal, right? We are the traffic, it is coming from the internet, so we have to go for the internet facing. After that, as mentioned about like we have to go for the VPC. As of now, I don't have any VPC, so I'm just going for the default VPC. I clearly instructed that you guys has to create a VPC. Within the VPC, you have to do all these steps. Okay. Now I selected the two availability zones. In the two availability zones, what we are trying to do, I'm just trying to setting up this particular load balancer. That's what exactly that I'm just trying to doing right now. We can see there is a one availability zone. There is something, it is called as the US hyphen East hyphen 1A. And there is something, it is called as the US hyphen East hyphen 1B. This is nothing but like two availability zones that we have selected. And if we come down, we can see about like security groups. So we discussed about like why security groups is required. Now, basically, we have to open port number 80 to expose application to the outside the world. See, for that, we have to create a security group. Now, I'm just trying to provide the security group name. Go there. Yep. In the description also, you can able to mention the description and which VPC that you are trying to creating. Let me go to the inbound rules. In that, what we can do, I'm just trying to open the SH port number, and here go to the custom to anywhere IP4 and go for the another rule. And here we have to select the HTTP traffic, and we can see about like I'm just trying to open the any port number here. And if we come down, we can see about like there is a click on the security group. That is what we have created. And after that, what I do, I'm just trying to click on the refresh right now. And here we can see there is something, it is a Clahan security group. That is what we have created. And if we come down, we can see about like what is the port number which is going to listen to you. The port number it is 80, which is going to listen to your request. And after that, if we come down, we can see about like we are not creating any instances manually. We want to create with the auto scaling groups. So I'm just trying to keep the same thing. Now click on the load balancer. Uh, so we can see if we just given the hyphen, that will be acceptable. Underscore, it is not acceptable. If we come down, if we click on the create load balancer, the load balancer is getting created. Yep, this is the first step that we have done. And the second step, what we do, I'm just trying to selecting the launch template. We can just come down, go for this option name, it is called launch template. So once we have done this particular launch template, we can see we have to click on the create a launch template. When you go for the create launch template, we have to provide the template name. So the template name is basically that we have to define about what is the name that you want to define. Let me just try to go for the template name. The template name, I'm just trying to provide the, we can see that Clahan hyphen auto scaling hyphen template. That is what the template that we have created. Now the description also that I'm just trying to provide here. If you want to use this template for auto scaling, so we have to clear the checkbox right now. And after that, what we do, we have to selecting about like which OS that we need and what is the configuration that we need. Click on the quick start here. And we can see there is something, it is called as Amazon X, and we can see about like Mac OS, Ubuntu. So last time we have taken the Ubuntu. Let me, it doesn't matter about like, it depends on what kind of configuration that we need. Let me just try to go for the AWS. Yep. So if we just go there, I'm selecting about the kernel 5.10. And if we come down, we can just need to selecting about like what is the instance type that we need. What is the instance type that we need? I'm just trying to selecting about like, whether you need t.micro or whatever the instance type that we need. I'm just gonna selecting about like what is the instance type that we need. And after that, if we come down, what kind of key pair that we need. So the key pair, if we have, we can able to select so that whenever you want to connect the server, we can able to connect with that server. And after that, we have to attach the security group. So that we have already created the same security group. I'm just trying to connecting to this particular security group that is got attached here. That is the reason that we are creating a template shake. And if we just go there, we can just look at my screen. See, we how much storage that we need. Let's say I'm just trying to putting the 30 GB storage. If we come down, you have to click on the launch instance. The instance is going to be launched here. And after that, the next step is nothing but like you have to create the auto scaling groups, right? So I'm just trying to go for the auto scaling groups. Yeah. Now can we just go to this options here? Um, Auto scaling groups. In that, we have to click on the create auto scaling groups. We have to provide the scaling group name. The scaling group name, I'm just trying to provide the Clahan hyphen. Go for the auto scaling. I'm just trying to mention about like group here. Now we have to set the template, which template that you want to use. Let me just go for the template, and we can see there is default only one version that we have, and we have to click on this next here. And here we had to defining about the network configuration, in which network you have to configure the auto scaling groups. Now here we have to select the availability zone. What is the availability zone that you have selected? I'm sure we have selected the one second. Let me cross verify. Go to here, because if you don't create this particular instance in the same availability zones, your health it is getting failed because the ping request did not reach over there. So we can see that it is you can see USC step in 1A and 1B. That is the reason you have to be careful where you are trying to creating a launch template. See that here it is 1A is available, and we can see 1B it is in lost. Okay, don't blindly select the availability zones. You have to select where exactly your load balancer is running. That is one of the key decision that we should understand why we are taking it. Now, if we come down, we can see this is the availability zones that we are trying to creating. After that, we need to click on the next here, and we can see about like we have to selecting about load balancer what we have created. So if we just come down, we click on attach existing load balancer. It is from choose from the classic load balancer. If we come down, we can see like there is a one class load balancer that we have. And this is the class load balancer what we have created. So we discussed about like what is VPC, latency, everything. Now I'm not going to be selecting over there. And also I'm not selecting about the application recovery control zone also. I explained about very clearly why this is required. Now if we just come down, if we click on the next here, here we had to defining about like what is the group size. So whenever we're defining about like group size is basically that we have mentioned about like what is the minimum and what is the maximum and what is the desired configuration that we had to select over there. Say I'm just trying to mention about like desired capacity is two. And the same like I'm just trying to mention about like minimum number of instances too. And the maximum instance that we required the 5 year. That is what I'm just trying to selecting over there. If we come down, we can see there is something it is called target scaling policies, right? We'll create the target scaling policies later, but now we are not mentioning about like target policies, whatever that we require. If we come down here, there is something it is click on the next here. And we are going to create a new step is nothing but like, SNS notifications. But now we are not going to selecting any notifications. We have to click on the next here. One, we can just go for the next year, and we require the tax here. So tax is basically it is going to be optional. Now we have to click on the next now. Now here, this is the steps that we have to follow that auto scaling groups, right? So this is everything that we discussed about from the beginning to end in the last session. See, the moment when you click on the create auto scaling groups, like whatever that the number of instances that we have, we mentioned about like in the desired capacity, those instances, it is going to be created automatically. Now, if we click on the refresh, we can see that the operating capacity is showing about like hyphen. Now, let me just go back to the EC2 instances and we can see whether the instances got created or not. Go back to the instances now. There is two instances has to be created. See, both are in running status. One, it is already 2 by 2 pass check. So when I talk about like 2 by 2 pass check, one check is for hardware and another check is basically for the OS. So because the OS, whatever that we require, everything has to be installed on top of the hardware. So they're trying to checking about like whether my hardware, it is OS both, it is got worked or not. That's what exactly we should understanding about like how we can able to go for it. Now, if we click on the refresh now, once you just go for the option, we can see that uh, I'm just trying to waiting for this instances to come up. Yeah, let's wait. We can see whether this instance is going to be configured with the load balancer or not. That's what the checking that we are doing in the last time also. Yeah, let's see. It is just initializing. Just refresh once. Yeah. So when it is coming up, let me just try to go with the load balancers right now. There's the one load balancer that we created is Clahan Auto LB. And if we just go back here, if we click on target instances, so let me check whether this instance is, we can see that both has to be come in services because the still I didn't get the 2 by 2 parsec. Once 2 by 2 parsec is come, then this instances go back to the in services. Now here, the meanwhile will completed the other instances that whatever that we are trying to, other steps will complete it. The first step, I mean, say the fourth step, it is basically we have to create something. It is called as a SNS notification, right? So because we should understanding about like whom you wanted to send notifications. For that, if you just go to the menu, under menu, you can just go to there is an option name. It is called as a application integration. Yeah. See, after that, we can see that we had to go for this option name. It is called as a simple notification service. If we go to the simple notification service, now here we can just look at my screen. The first we have to create a topic. So whenever we say something, it is called topic. Topic is nothing but like it is a message channel. Say for example, you want to share your message to the number of participants in a YouTube or Instagram. What we do first, we are trying to creating a channel, right? So once we created a channel, through the channel, we can able to publish a message so that many of the people they can know that like what is your about intention, right? The same thing that we can go for something, it is called topic. So what is exactly mean by topic here? So we can see about like, so topic is a message channel. When you publish a message to a topic, it fans out the message to all the subsequent point. I mean, it is who or it is going to subscribe. So for them, what we can do, we are just trying to creating something. It is called as a topic. The first we are trying to creating a topic is nothing but like message channel here. The first, let me try to go for the option right now. The message, the channel name, I'm just trying to mention about like auto scaling. This is nothing but like topic name, which I'm just trying to creating. Now, if you click on this option name, it is for next year. After that, we can see that when we have to go for the FIFO, we have there is only one option that we have something. It is called as a SKS. But whenever we just go for something, it is called as standard. Standard is nothing but like we have different protocols that is available. Like we can see about like we have SKS, Lambda, and also we can see about there is something it is called data file house, HTTP, or you can able to send to SNS, or sorry, we can able to send SMS, or we can go for the email, or also we can just go for the mobile application endpoints. This is basically the need to understanding about like how we can able to choose which kind of message channel that we need. Now let me just try to the mention about like what is this the channel that we have to select here. We am just trying to go for whatever the topic name that we created. The same name I'm just trying to give it for the display name also. Yeah, this is the display name. And after that, what I do, if I just come down, we had to go for something it is called as a right now. It is called the create a topic. So once we are just trying to creating a topic, we can just look at my screen. The topic it is getting created. Now inside the topic, we have to select whom you wanted to send the whom you want to send this particular message. See, for that, if we just come down, we have to select about the subscriptions. Right. Let's, for example, if we just go to click on the create a subscription, now I just need to mention about like what is the protocol. So there are different types of protocols that we have. Like we can just look at here, Amazon SKS, or also we can see about email. Also we can see about like, SMS and all. So I'm just trying to provide the email so that whenever the topic it is goes high, so we'll just need to understanding about like how this particular topic it is goes high. So for that, I'm just trying to first go to mentioning about like to which email ID I have to send the notifications, right? I'm just trying to first go there. Yeah. I'm just trying to mention about like what is the message, the whom I want to send the mail to. Let me just try to write the gmail.com right now. This is the email I'm just trying to provide to send notifications. And if we just come down, we have to click on the create a topic subscription. So by this time, you'll get one email for the confirmation. So if you don't confirm, definitely you are not going to get the message. If we just come down here, we have to go for the email, and here we can just look at here. There is a Murali K1403 and go for the Gmail. Let me go for the updates. I think this is the email that I have given. Let me just check. We just go with the primary. Mm, Let me cross verify whether this email is correct or not. Go back, come down. It is Murali K. Warrior like K1403. Yes. This is, I think, yep, same email ID which I given. Let me just try to, it will send notification basically to confirm it. Let me just go back. You have the option called as the edit here. So once we just confirmed, let me just try to create the endpoint. Let me try to delete it. I'm just trying to put the other one. Let me just try to create a topic now. The topic is already we selected. Let's not do it. Just go back to the topics. Okay. Oh, I deleted the topic. It seems okay. Sorry. Go for the standard. If we come down, we had to go for the click on the create topic here. Go to subscriptions here. we had to go for the option, click on the create a subscription. The protocol, we had to set the protocol here. First, we had to go for the email, right? I'm just trying to provide the same email address. And if we come down, click on the create a subscription. Um, I don't know why it should send the notifications. If you don't confirm that, definitely you can't able to get the alerts. So if we just go back to here, it is going to send the notifications basically. I'm just waiting for why it is not sending any notifications. Email address is correct. So let's wait. I'll just wait for the notifications. Meanwhile, so this is nothing but like whenever you're going to getting the more traffic or less traffic, definitely what I want to do, I just need to send the notifications. See, for that, we had to send the SMS notifications. So once it is done, we had to go for something, it is called the CloudWatch service. See, CloudWatch, yep. So whenever we talk about something, it is called the CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is basically to monitoring your services. See, whenever you wanted to monitor your application, the CloudWatch is one of the way that we definitely is going to help you about to understanding about like what traffic it is coming, what is exactly mean by CPU utilizations, what is the memory utilizations, what is networking out. So if you want to understanding about those things, definitely we had to go for something it is called CloudWatch. So now let me just try to explain about like how we can able to create a CloudWatch alarm. This is very, very important. So based on this CloudWatch services only, what will happen? You are trying to creating what will happen? You are just trying to creating a new services. That's what exactly we are trying to understand about it. So let me just go for it. First, let me try to go for this particular menu. Under menu, we can see there is something. It is called as the management and governance. Under management governance, we had to click on the CloudWatch. Yep. So once we just created something, it is called CloudWatch alarms. One second. Yep. So the first what I do, I'm just trying to creating something. It is called a CloudWatch alarms, right? So we had to go for the option here. There is something it is called as a all alarms. Click on that first. Yep. After that, what we do, I just need to first need to create it here. Create a alarm. So understand why the basically we had to create a alarm. Say, for example, you want to wake up at early morning, 8 o'clock. So what you do basically, you are trying to setting up the alarm, right? See, the moment when you're trying to setting up the alarm, when this clock triggers at 8 a.m. IST, definitely this alarm will trigger automatically. See, whenever you're trying to creating alarm, that means like you're trying to creating indicators. Let's, for example, if I'm driving a car with the speed of let's, for example, I'm just driving a car with the speed of 100 kilometers per hour. So what will happen, when I'm just trying to driving, if I set the conditions like, goes 100 on, 1000 is, I'm sorry, 100 is the speed, automatically the alarm will trigger here. The same thing when the traffic it is goes very high. So I just need to send the alarm to my team so that they can understanding about like what's happening over there. At the same time, when this traffic it is goes less than 30% for scale down, so my team will understanding about like what action need to be take. So that is where we had to go for something it is called as alarms right now. The first we had to send the metric, right? So if we just go there, we just need to mention about like what is the metric that we have to select. For now here we can just look at my screen. There is option here, the preview of the metric or metric expression and the threshold. This is something that we are just trying to understanding about like what is a metric. So whenever we talk about the metric is basically what we can call it as a condition. So why this better metric is required means like you had to set some condition to perform some actions. For that, definitely you have to create something. It is called a metric. That's what exactly that we are doing it right now. So let me just click on the option called the select the metric here. So what is the metric that we have to select? See, we are deploying the applications inside the EC2 instances. So we always select the metrics based on the based on the option that we have something. It is called as a EC2 instances right now. Let me just go for the EC2. EC2 is nothing but Elastic Compute Cloud, right? So once we just go for something, it is Elastic Compute Cloud. We can see about like there is something it is called as the auto scaling group. See, this EC2 instance is basically maintaining the auto scaling group. So I'm just trying to setting about like by auto scaling groups. Click on that option right now. See, there are many things. I mean to say there are different metrics that we have right now. We can see about like this is nothing but like my auto scaling group name what we have created. These are all what we can call as a metric. Like we can see about like CPU utilization, networking out, networking. Also, we can see about like network path, packets in, networking packets out. So I can say how many packets are coming in, how many packets are going out. That's something that we are trying to understand over there. Right? This is nothing but like what is a networking, networking out. If it's the same thing, if you just go there, after that, what we can do that. I'm just trying to mention about like other metrics that whatever that we have, right? Let me just try to go for these options right now. I'm just trying to selecting about the option that we have something. It is called CPU utilization. Why it is going up? 1 second. Let me close and open it. I don't have any other option. Just okay, that's fine. Let me just try to log into the again. Now let me just go for the CloudWatch. See, I'm just creating on the Mumbai region. Go for the North Virginia. Yep. Now here we had to go for the option name. It is called as the alarms, right? Click on the create alarm and we had to select the metric. In the metric, we had to go for the EC2 and we had to go for the by auto scaling. And here is basically we had gonna selecting about the CPU utilization. We just go up right now. If you just come down, there are different metrics that we have. So we are just trying to selecting about like CPU utilization. So because whenever the more number of requests coming towards my application, my CPU is busy to my CPU is busy to give the respond to the request. See, whenever the more number of requests goes high, this what will happen is basically it required something. It is called CPU utilizations. That's what exactly that we do. So now if you just try to go there, click on this option name it called select the metric here. So we can see about like what is the metric that we have to select right now. We can just look at here. This alarm will trigger when the blue line goes above line. You may ask like where is the blue line? So this is what we can call blue line. We can see about like this is nothing but like period of time. So I can able to set the period of time. I want to fetch data every 10 seconds to understanding about like what's going on here. So right now we can see about like, the 842, right? So we can able to see about like 10 seconds. You can see the 10 seconds interval. Now, if you just come down, we had to set the condition. So what is the condition that we have to set here? We can see there is something it is called as a static condition that I'm just trying to setting right now. Now what I do, I'm just trying to go for this option name. It is called static condition. And here we are trying to selecting about the greater or greater than here. This is what I'm just trying to selecting right now. See, whenever I'm just trying to selecting about the greater, so then if it is goes 70% high, that means if my CPU utilization goes 70% high, so what I do, I just need to create a new instance. That's what exactly that we are trying to doing it. Right. So let me just go there. I'm just trying to explaining about like how we can able to implement that. Now, if I just come down, we had to click on the next here. So once you click on the next here, see when this condition is got met, there are three states that we have. There is in alarm, there is a OK, there is inception data. So now if the condition is got met, my alarm has to trigger. That's what we can say about like in alarm, right? Now we can see there is something it is called the OK. That means the metric or expression within the defined threshold. That means there is nothing to cross over there. Now there is something it is called as the inception data. To trigger the alarm, if you don't have the data, so what we can do, we can just look at my screen. We can able to showing about like inception data, right? Now here we can just look at my screen. We have to select what is the existing SNS topic. So this is nothing but like topic that we have created. See, that is the reason everything that is a relevant. So that where we have to understanding about like what exactly we should understand. So now I'm just trying to selecting the topic here to whom I want to send the notification. That notification we can see that I have mentioned about like auto scaling, right? And after that, if we come down, we can see about like what is the email that nothing but like endpoint to whom I want to send the notifications. So this is nothing but like to whom I want to send the notifications. We can see about like this is how we are trying to send the notifications here. So once you're trying to send the notifications, after that, what kind of action it has to take? We can see there's the last step that I discussed about something. It is called as the auto scaling action. But now we can see about like we are not creating here. I'll show you about like how we can able to create that. So now here we can just come down and we have to click on the next here. And after that, we have to provide the alarm name. See, I'm just trying to put in the alarm name is nothing but like, scale up. So when I go for something, it is called scale up. So we have to write description why you are trying to creating this alarm. So let's say, for example, I just need to mention this option here. Okay. So what is the option that we are trying to setting it up right now? So let me go there. So whenever the traffic goes high, yeah, more than 70%, we can say 70% of the CPU utilization, we have to create a new instance. That is where we just need to, we have to go for something, it is called scale up, right? So, yeah, now we can just look at my screen. This is nothing but like, we can just look at my screen. We had to go for the click on the next here. Now this particular metric, now we can see that. This is nothing but like condition what we set, the CPU utilization. This is the utilization is the time interval. You see that this is nothing but like x-axis, this is the y-axis. So now if we just go there and we can see about like what exactly that we are doing it right now. So I'm just trying to setting up the conditions here. This is the condition that what I'm just trying to setting up here. We can see about like this is nothing but like my CPU utilization. And we can see this is the target that we set it up here. And if we come down, we can see about like what is the condition that we have mentioned. We can see it is nothing but like greater than 70%. Then this action has to take in. So we not define any action. I'll tell you about like, when you're trying to take the action. We can see this is actions. When in alarm, send notification to this particular topic. If we come down, we have to click on the create alarm right now. So once we just click on the create alarm, the alarm will create it. See, this is for scaling. I mean to say when the CPU utilization is greater than 80%, you have to create a new instance. For that, you set the condition. But if there is no traffic, let's for example, you are watching Geo Hotstar. When the match starts, what will happen? The number of requests will go high. When the match it is going to be like ended, the wind up with the presentation, everything, then the customers will start uh, you know uh, leave the application from one by one. That time you don't get much traffic, you're good losing the traffic that time. So whenever you're losing the traffic, we don't need to keep the same traffic over there. So that's where we should understanding about like how we can able to do this option here. So whenever the traffic it is goes very down, waste goes down, so what we do, we just need to perform something. It is called scale down. See, for example, I'm setting some condition like if we just go to here, if the CPU utilization is less than 30%. So what I do, I just need to ask to remove this server. And if the CPU is less than 30%, we have to remove this server. Only the minimum number of instances will run. Whatever they automatically created, those instances will not be there. It is going to be deleted automatically. That's what exactly that we are trying to understanding over there. Now here, let me just try to click on the create alarm here. Now for that, we can see that there is select metric here. Now we can just look at here. We have to go for the EC2. The same steps I have to follow that. Auto scaling group. Now here we had to go for this option that we have. If we just come down, we can see there is something it is called CPU utilization, right? Let me go there. Yeah, the CPU utilization is a metric. If we come down, there is a select the metric that we have to select here. Now we can just look at here the time interval, the same time interval I'm selecting here. And if we come down, we have to go for the conditions. Now, what is the condition here? I can just go for the less than or equal to. What is the condition I'm setting right now? 30%. If we come down, we have to click on the next here. And we can see there is an in alarm. This is a topic that I'm just selecting right now, auto scaling. Now, if we come down, we can just look at here. We have to click on the next here. We have to write the alarm name. I'm just trying to go for this scale underscore down. Okay. That's what we are trying to writing here. Go for the scale down, right? So we just need to understand that uh, whenever the traffic it is goes high, sorry, traffic is um, less than 30%, um, we need to uh, remove the additional server, whatever we are create. We need to remove the additional server. Yeah, that's correct. Whatever we created automatically. So somebody can understanding about like why you're trying to setting up these conditions. So if you provide the description, they have a clarity on that. Yeah, we have to click on the next now. This is nothing but like, CPU utilization. This is the condition that you're trying to setting up here. And if we come down, click on the create alarm. Now this alarm will can just look at my screen. Two alarms is got created, right? So once we can just look at my screen. Once it's got created alarms. Now when this particular alarm got triggered, what action that he has to take? See, for that, what I do, I have to go to this option here. There is something it is called EC2. In EC2, you created something it is called auto scaling, right? So here is basically that we had defined the dynamic scaling policies. So if you click on the checkbox, you'll get many options: details, integrations, auto scaling, instance management, instance refresh, activity monitoring. If you just go to the monitoring, it is basically showing about like, your application monitoring, like CPU utilizations, the memory utilizations, that everything that we can able to see over there. Now, if I just go back to this option called as the details, sorry, auto scaling. In this auto scaling, there is an option name is called as a dynamic scaling that we have, right? So if you just click on the create dynamic scaling policy, uh, we have to provide the policy type it is. We can see there is something it is called step scaling and there's something it is called simple scaling. These are the options that we have. So whenever you just go for something, it is called target scaling, and we can see about like what are the target scalings that we have. And there is something it is called step scaling and simple scaling. So whenever I just go for something, it is called as a simple scaling that we have to go. And here the policy name that we had to mention, let's say I can go for something, it is called scale up. This is nothing but like my policy scaling policy name. And whenever this particular alarm triggers, right? What is alarm? I have already created, right? So I just need to go for the alarm here. We can say I'm just writing about scale up. So every step is interlinked. I'm saying again and again. If I miss any one of the steps, definitely you can't able to populate the option that what we need. This is, you can see the bridges the alarm threshold. The CPU utilization is greater than 70% for one consecutive period of 10 seconds of the metric dimensions. We can see that auto scaling group name is equal to Clahan auto scaling group. Now, what is the action it has to take? So we can see that we have to go with the add and remove set to, right? So whenever just go for the action, it is called as the add here. Now, we just need to add one instances. That means, if this particular CPU utilization goes 80%, I want to add one more instances. If the CPU utilization goes 80%, I want to add one more instances. Like that, it is going to be add the number of instances, whatever that we need. We can see that it is simple scaling and scaling policy that we had to go for the scale up. And we can see about like there is something is called CloudWatch RM. We had to go for the scale up. The policy that we are trying to creating. Now we have to click on the create a policy here. Now we just created one policy for scale up. The same policy we have created for the scale down also, right? We had to click on the create dynamic scaling policy. And here we had to go for the simple scaling. Let's say I'm just trying to mention about like, a scale down, right? And then just go for the scale underscore down. We had to set the condition scale down, not up here. We can see the condition what we set over there and the action we have to remove. So we don't need to remove a bunch of servers at once. So we can't able to provide the platform stability. So for that we are just trying to remove the one by one. Now that's where we can click on the create the option here. So we can see there are two policies that we have created. If you look at the steps that whatever that we selected, load balancer, launch template, auto scaling groups, SNS, we can see the CloudWatch alarms and dynamic scalings. So all these are nothing but like different policies that we had to select and we had to perform the scale up and scale down. This is exactly that we should know how we are trying to go for the scale up and scale down. See, if you just look at my screen, if I got this, I don't know why this sending the notifications. See, you have to first, you'll get one notifications. By the time if you click on the confirm, the alarms will automatically trigger over there. I'm just checking that why this is not doing that. But if you guys creating, look at your, you will get one notification to email. Click on the confirm. Once you confirm, then you're trying to get these particular notifications. See, by the time actually what will happen, you should, yeah, 1 second. Yep. So by the time what will happen, you'll get one notification. So how can I say is, if I go for something, it is called CloudWatch. Yeah, if you go to the CloudWatch, and if you go to the alarms, already one alarm will trigger because now the condition is satisfying, right? I mean to see this, we can see that this alarm already one is a scale out, right? The CPU utilization, you can just look at the dashboard. If we go to the alarms right now, yeah, we can just go for the where it is Asia Pacific, uh, North Virginia. I haven't created here. Oh God. Yeah, there is two alarms that we created. So once it is just going to collecting all the information, what will happen? This is going to be send the alarm. This is going to send the notification to your email address, and you have to check each and every step how you have to implement. So I hope this steps is clear, right? Anyone have any questions right now?
Yeah, Murli, I have couple of queries. So first thing is in that SNS topic, we are providing only one email, right? So if we had to send multiple, like the email notifications for multiple people, right? Do we have to create multiple topics or we can configure it in
No.
one topic?
Under one topic, we can create multiple subscriptions. Right? We just go there, we click on the SNS. We can just go for the simple notification here. Yeah, there is only one topic that we have. Under one topic, we can just go there. There is a one subscription that we have, right? If you click on the creative subscription, you have to provide the another email ID whom you wanted to send the notifications. Set the email, provide the email address, and they'll get the notification. They have to click on the confirm it.
Okay, so it's like one topic and multiple subscriptions, right?
It's like a one YouTube channel, multiple subscribers.
Okay, okay, got it. And also in this SNS topic creation, there were two steps, right, Murli? One is that FIFO and other one is standard. So by looking at FIFO, it says like exact one message delivery, and the other one is saying like at least one message delivery, right? So what is the exact difference?
If we just go for the topics here, when I click on the create topic, we can see that there are two types of we have. One is nothing but like FIFO, first in, first out. See, whenever you wanted to use the SQS, nothing but simple, what we can say about like queue services, then what we can do, we are just trying to go for something it is called the FIFO. We can see strictly preserve the message ordering, exactly one message will delivery. So it is nothing but like, the first in, first out. You might heard about it in data science, sorry, what we can say, the
Kafka.
subject, right? Not Kafka. The FIFO, LIFO, right? I mean, to say Q and FIFO, the services. So what we can say, yeah, there is a subject.
Data structures.
Yeah, data searches. The data searches concept that you'll get it nothing but FIFO. I mean, say whoever come first, they're gonna serve first. See, for that we can just go for something. It is called as a like FIFO here. Now, but if you just go to here, the subscription protocols you have only one SQS. But if you go with the standards here, we can see the best effort for message ordering. At least one message could be delivered. But the subscription protocols we had different options that we have like SQS, Lambda, data firehouse, HTTP, SMS, email, mobile application endpoints. Right now we are turning the emails to the email, so that is the reason we are going for the email here. And we are going to setting up the standard.
Okay, and with the help of SNS topic, we are sending email notifications, right? Like whatever that is being
Yes.
monitored through CloudWatch. And
Yes.
if we had to send these notifications to some Teams channel, like how we can integrate that?
If you just go to this particular standard, you can see that if there is no option that we have, so what we do, you have to go for the CloudWatch. In that we can see there's something it is called contact point. The contact point we had to create. For that, we had to create one channel. When you're creating a channel, there is the API endpoint we'll create. That API endpoint we had to take and we had to give it to the CloudWatch so that it is going to send the all the notification to the particular options. So there is a monitoring tools like Prometheus, Grafana. When we're discussing about it, I'll tell you the steps how we can able to create contact point, how to create the alarms. In that, how we can write the prompt query languages, how to set the conditions. It's so far away.
Okay, sure. And one last question. In the scaling also, we had three different type of scalings, right, Murli? That simple scaling, target, and
No.
also
You
step.
don't worry about now other scalings. You just go for the simple scaling. If you just go for the easy to hear, if you just go for this auto scaling right now, and we can see that if you click on the create, select the policy here, and there is a dynamic scaling policies that we have. When you try to creating dynamic scaling policies, there are three options that we have. One is we can see target tracking scaling, right? So we can see when you talk about the tracking target is nothing but like it's going to ask you about like what is actually the average CPU utilizations. What is your target? You want to track that? We can just go for this particular the policy type because the target tracking scaling policy. If we go to the step scaling policy, we can see that we have to provide a scaling policy and we can just go for the CloudWatch around scale up and scale down. So here we can just look at here. You just need to go for this option that we have selected about simple scaling. Why we have to go for the simple scaling means, so we can see that difference between if we just go for the step scaling, we can see the policy name and also we can see about the CloudWatch RM and also we can see about add actions. Or we can see that there is option name, it is called as the add step. So when I go for the add step, what is exactly mean by add steps and how we are trying to implement. See, if we just go for this option name is called simple scaling, and we can see we don't have the option called as the add step. The same steps, but here this is going to provide the additional feature that we can able to add the number of steps over there. That is where we can just understanding about like how we can able to differentiated the step scaling and simple scaling.
Okay.
Murli, what is meant by instance warm-up?
Sorry,
What's meant by instance warm-up? It's at the bottom of the create dynamic scaling policy.
what is maybe warm up basically in
Getting
layman
ready.
terms?
When you do exercise, we have to do warm up, right?
That means what exactly? You are preparing your the body to go and take something, right? So whenever we talk about something, it is called as the instance warm up. Also, it is going to refresh the process. I mean to say, it's a preparing of the instance, like virtual machine or containers that whatever that you are creating to handle the traffic or workload, whatever that coming towards the application. It is basically creating the resources, configurations, data. So basically, it is main reason is to reduce latency. So when the traffic it is coming towards your applications, by the time you should know about like how we can able to handle the traffic, you have to create new instances. For that, what we can do, we are trying to creating a worm. It's nothing but like it is just trying to creating the instances in the background. The moment alarm will trigger, it is going to add this instance into your auto scaling group. That's how it is going to be happening over there.
Okay, Murli, thank you.
Yeah, I think all are good, right? Could you please confirm everyone before we wind up? I'll upload this recording video right away. You guys please go ahead and let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, I think we're clear. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the tomorrow session, guys.